Hi, we are gonna talking about float production unit. We are from Group 8. Next. Here we are. I'm Daniel Julian Luman Gaul and IP 501 720 1023. And then my friend Silvani Aisyah Rafiq 501 720 1037. Muhammad Maulana Nazibullah in 501 720 1065. And then Ikhlas Syifa Sasbina 501 720 1087. Next. Table of contents. In this presentation, we are going to talking about the introduction of what is FPU and then the topside module, which is consists of compressor, heater, separator, dynamic position system, and then the pipeline system, which is pipe selection, riser selection, pipe protection selection, application of injection riser, and export pipe riser. And also the last one is the conclusion. Next. So what is FPU? Next. FPU is a floating production storage and offloading unit is a floating vessel used by the offshore oil and gas industry for the production and processing of hydrocarbons and for the storage of oil. Next.
So my name is Silvani and I'm gonna talk about part of FPU. But before that, I'm gonna explain the floating production unit. The floating production unit, or called as FPU, has a major advantage by having a more complete set of equipments and facilities that can support the production of gas well. By using the floating production unit, it could lower the risk of losing flow assurance from the wellhead to the floating processing unit itself due to several factors, such as pressure drop, temperature drop that could lead to an obstruct flow of gas. This problem could easily be dealt with if there is a sufficient equipment available. Topside modules on a floating production unit are very varied with its supporting facilities and equipments, which could help solving and treating problems related to flow assurance. Next, topside module. Next. Okay, for the part of topside models, there are compressor that used to increase the pressure that going low to achieve the desired pressure, and then separator used to separate fluids from gas, heater used to increase the pressure that going low to achieve the desired pressure, and then the last one is DPS used to control how the ship's movement to stabilize outside force, such as ocean waves. Next. Compressor. Floating compressor unit of FPU has a compressor located at the topside module to support the production unit. Compressor can be used to increase the pressure that going low to achieve the desired pressure. Aside from that, compressor can be used to give pressure on the gas, so it can be transferred to the onshore facility. Compressor is the most important part in FPU because it's the vital tools in production that can keep the flow assurance well maintained. Aside that, compressor can be used to inject several chemicals that disrupt the production. The compressor has main purpose to keep the gas flowing smoothly. Maintaining the pressure with compressor will make the choke pressure and choke temperature well maintained and reduce the possibility of decline which endanger the rate of gas production. Next. And then the next one is heater. Heater is one of the supporting facilities that can be found in most floating production units. The main function of the heater is to increase the temperature of the gas flowing in the pipe. After the gas reaches the certain temperature, the gas will be in a state where separation between the gas and wax depositions such as asphalt, paraffin, resin, scale, print, and mixture asphalt is easier because the gas itself has already surpassed the wax appearance temperature or WAT, which is a minimal temperature to form a wax crystal within the gas flow. It eliminated the possibility of wax deposition. Next.
And My name is Maulana. I will explain about a spirator. A spirator will spread the fluid and gas friction so that they can be further processed and utilized. Aspirator are required and used in the floating producing unit, specifically in the collection station before the product enter the condensate tanks. On this condensate tanks, because of the difference in density, the lighter fraction of gas will gather on the top of the tank, while the heavier gas condensate will be in the middle of the tanks, and the last, the water will accumulate in the bottom of the tanks. The lighter C1 uh, and CH friction of the gas will be transferred to the other facilities after respiration. And next, dynamic position system or DPS. DPS is dynamic position system is program that control how the ship movement to stabilize the outside force such as ocean wave. When the ocean wave struck and move the floating producing unit, an automatic program will active the propeller and shift the floating producing unit back to its original spot. And next, the pipeline system. The piping system has a big impact on the flow assurance issue because the gas that come out from the wellhead will be flow to the very diverse piping system. Pipe selection will greatly affect to the gas flow. The gas flow will be influenced to many factors such as pipe materials, reservoir selection, coating selection, use of the reservoir according to the problem of the piping system to the onshore delivery. Piping system selection also depends on the public activity such as sailing and fishing route and part of pipeline system. Pipe selection. It include the selection of suitable material conditions such as the type of fluid being flowed, operating condition, loading, location, environmental factor, and economic factor. And then research selection, the function of the research itself varies greatly from the how the research is used and also considering other environmental factor like water current and application pipe protection selection. Coating the pipe can protect the pipe from corrosion, environmental temperature, and friction. And then application of injection reserve used to inject or circulate some fluid into the subsea pipe with help from the compressor with the main object is to help prevent some of the problems that occur on the subsea pipe. And export pipe pressure. The export pipe pressure has a function to flow gas from the FPU to the onshore facility or tanker ship. And then pipe selection. The pipe material selection will be depend on exciting factor in order to achieve the best solution. The problem that exist in Gendalo field involve underwater currents, seabed temperature, choke and lost temperature due to depth. From the stop from this problem, the right pipe to use is API 5L steel pipe, licensed by API or American Petroleum Institute, ASME or the American Society of Mechanical Engineer, and the other agencies specifically used for offshore pipeline.
Hello, I'm Iklima, and now I'm going to explain about research selection. Research is a pipe that connects the facilities of a floating production unit's topside module to a subsea pipeline. Usually, the design of the riser is considering other factors from the pipeline. In general, the function of a riser pipe is almost the same as a subsea pipeline. The function of the riser itself varies greatly from how the riser is used and also considering other environmental factors like water currents. By considering the usage and environmental conditions surrounding the Jandala field, it is concluded that the most suitable riser to use is the steel catenary riser or SCR. with a flexible connector so that the pipeline would form a free hanging duct to minimize the risk posed by ocean currents. Next. Pipe protection selection. Coating the pipe from internal and external will give more protection to the pipe. Pipe protection is an important factor in order to maintaining the good gas flow assurance. Coating the pipe can protect the pipe from corrosion, environmental temperature, and friction. Providing the pipe with the protection will make its life longer. Coating the pipe can be done on both internal and external pipes. For internal coating pipe, we can use inhibitor coating, such as paraffin dispersants, wax crystal modifiers, deposit inhibitor surfactant, polymer additive, and for the external, there's a lot of option to do. For example, we can painting the coating the pipe. Pipe painting can use liquid coatings such as binders, pigments, and solvents, which are formulated and mixed with additive and extenders for ease of use. Resistance to environmental factors and affordable prices. For pipe coating, we can use a combination of coating and cathodic protection. Usually, external coating use 3 layers of polyethylene with the first layer to protect from corrosion, the second layer for adhesion, and the third layer to protect from mechanical scratch, and concentrate weight coating to give more weight so there's no buoyancy. Then you can also use pipe insulators to keep the temperature optimal due to the low seabed temperature. Next. Export pipe riser. The export of the pipe riser has a function to flow gas from the floating production unit to the onshore facility. In its work, the injection pipe riser will be assisted by a compressor located at the top side of the FPU facility to provide pressure so that gas can reach the onshore facility. Flow assurance issues can be maintained by using a floating production unit because it can maintain sufficient pressure to bring gas.
And next, the conclusion. Floating producing unit storage and offloading unit is a floating vessel used by the offshore oil and gas industry for the production and processing of the hydrocarbons and for the storage of oil. FPU or floating producing unit contain of topside module which include compressor, heater, spirator, and DPS or dynamic position system, and also contains pipeline system which include pipe selection, riser selection, pipe protection selection, and application of injection riser and export pipe riser.
So thank you for your attention, for listening and hearing our presentation. Bye.